Stand by. Oh, what's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. This week's shows, as I'm transmitting on Sunday, I will be at the Rab on Friday night, my usual Friday night gig, my one public show for the week, because, you know, the rest of the week is all for private events, stuff like that. I mean, unless I get enticed to do another public show, I would like that as well. I want to do a family-oriented public show. I know I do the Rab, and I like it so much. They treat me really nice. The Rab on Friday nights, 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. The video dance party karaoke jam. Always a good time at the Rab. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open. Pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're at it, you can check out the Rab in Convoy, Arkansas. Friday nights. Yeah, always a good time. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, February 13th, 2022. Wow, the day before Valentine's Day. Can you feel the love? Is love in the air? Is it Singles Awareness Day? However you choose to celebrate. 10 things you need to know today. Number one, Russia will not capture any of Ukraine's cities, Ukrainian Defense Minister says. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov said Saturday that he believes country's military could fend off Russian invasion. Quote, everyone who has looked into the eyes of our soldiers at least once is sure that there will be no repeat of 2014. The aggressor will not capture either Kiev, Odessa, Kharkiv, or any other city, end quote, Reznikov said. He also cited the availability of sophisticated weaponry, improved training, the experienced soldiers have gained in the ongoing conflict with Russian-backed separatists and strong international support as reasons for his confidence. U.S. General Mark Milley gave a different assessment earlier this month, suggesting that Kiev could fall to the Russians within 72 hours of an invasion. This is according to CNN and Fox News. Number two, giving seized Afghan funds to families of 9/11 victims is unjust, former Afghan president claims. Former Afghan President Hamid Karzai said Sunday that the White House's decision to distribute funds seized from the country's ousted pro-Western government to the families of 9/11 victims is, quote, unjust and unfair, end quote, and, quote, an atrocity against Afghan people, end quote. When Afghanistan fell to the Taliban last summer, the Biden administration froze some $7 billion the U.S.-backed government had deposited at the Federal Reserve Bank in New York, and now plans to distribute half that money to relatives of victims of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks and put the other half toward humanitarian and in Afghanistan. The United States warned earlier this year that as many as 1 million Afghan children are in danger of starvation. This is according to the Associated Press and Politico. Number three, Freedom Convoy. Protesters continue to block Ambassador Bridge. Canadian demonstrators protesting the country's COVID-19 restrictions continued to block Ambassador Bridge on Sunday morning, impeding the flow of international trade for the 7th consecutive day. The protesters chose not to disperse after a judge ordered them to leave the bridge Friday night, though several vehicles departed and others have since been towed away. Meanwhile, though, more protesters arrived on foot to, at least partially, maintain the blockade. Several people were arrested. Ambassador Bridge connects Detroit, Michigan with Windsor, Ontario. Detroit automakers have been forced to slow down production in recent days due to the reduced flow of parts from Canada. This is according to CNN and the Washington Post. Number 4, Clinton campaign-funded attempt to infiltrate Trump servers. New legal filing alleges. Hillary Clinton's campaign recruited investigators and tech workers to, quote, infiltrate, end quote, servers at Trump Tower, former President Donald Trump's personal apartment in New York City. And the White House, in an attempt to prove Trump was colluding with Russia, a new legal filing alleges. Special counsel John Durham, who is investigating the FBI's probe into Russia and the Trump campaign, filed the motion as part of his case against former Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman. Sussman has been charged with making false statements to federal agents after he allegedly told the FBI he was not working on behalf of Clinton when he presented them with evidence that supposedly tied Trump to a Kremlin-linked bank. This is according to the New York Post and Fox News. Number 5, Biden talks directly with Putin as Ukraine invasion threat looms. President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke by phone Saturday in what could be a last-ditch attempt to avert a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Putin initially tried to schedule the call for Monday, but Biden requested on Friday that it take place as soon as possible. Biden was at Camp David during the call, which was his first direct conversation with Putin since December. According to the official White House summary, Biden, quote, reiterated that a further Russian invasion of Ukraine would produce widespread human suffering and diminish Russia's standing, end quote, and said the U.S., quote, remains prepared to engage in diplomacy, end quote, but is, quote, equally prepared for other scenarios. This is according to the White House and the Associated Press. Number 6, Black Lives Matter signs get Library of Congress exhibit. Digitized versions of signs and other pieces of art created during the summer 2020 Black Lives Matter protests in Washington, D.C. are now part of a Library of Congress exhibit. Activist Nadine Seiler removed over 800 signs from the fence that separated protesters from Lafayette Park near the White House. The signs are currently being stored in a D.C. storage until they can be scanned by Baltimore's Enoch Pratt Free Library. After that, Seiler plans to gift them to museums and other black liberation organizations. 37 images are currently available via the Library of Congress. This is according to NPR. Number 7, U.S. evacuates Kiev embassy. The U.S. began evacuating its embassy in Kiev on Saturday as intelligence sources warn a Russian invasion could begin at any moment. The State Department announced Saturday that almost all of the 200 Kiev-based embassy staff would be evacuated, but that the embassy, quote, will keep a small number of core diplomats, end quote, in place. Russia announced Saturday that it is also cutting back its diplomatic presence in Ukraine. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said Russia is carrying out a, quote, certain optimization, end quote, of embassy and consulate staffing due to fears of, quote, certain provocations by the Kiev regime or third nations, end quote. The United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia have also pulled diplomats out of Ukraine's capital. This is according to Politico and the Wall Street Journal. Number 8, 2022 Olympics. Real snow causes problems at the Winter Olympics. Snow fell on Olympic facilities in and around Beijing on Saturday and Sunday, prompting organizers to postpone some competitions and even cancel a training run. So far, even events have made do with artificial snow, which is easier to control and predict and does not impede visibility or make it more difficult to reach facilities. Buses transporting spectators placed chains on their tires. Alpine skiers and biathletes skied and shot despite the snowfall. Organizers were, however, forced to cancel a women's downhill training run. The U.S. currently sits in 4th place in the medal rankings with 5 gold medals, 5 silvers, and 1 bronze. Norway, Germany, and the Netherlands hold the top 3 spots. This is according to the New York Times, International, and the International Olympic Committee. Number 9, French protest convoy rolls into Paris. Authorities have ordered more than 7,000 additional law enforcement officers to Paris as a French, quote, freedom convoy, end quote, inspired by the one currently occupying the Canadian capital, converged on Paris to protest the country's COVID-19 restrictions. France currently requires that people show proof of vaccination to enter public places. A negative test is no longer sufficient for unvaccinated people. Police say they stopped 500 vehicles from entering the city on Saturday, but at least several dozen cars, campers, tractors, and other vehicles were able to enter Paris and impede traffic around the Arc de Triomphe and on the Champs-Élysées. Hundreds of protesters were ticketed, fined, or tear-gassed. This is according to the BBC and Reuters. Number 10, Super Bowl ads. Coinbase, Budweiser, and more pay an average of $6.5 million for 30-second ads. A 30-second ad slot for Super Bowl 56, 56, which airs Sunday on NBC, cost an average of $6.5 million this year. And there is no shortage of buyers. Companies representing burgeoning industries like cryptocurrency, online sports gambling, at-home COVID-19 testing, and electric vehicles charging will air their first Super Bowl ads this year. Travel company Expedia will run an ad after sitting out last year's Super Bowl due to COVID lockdowns. Longtime favorites like the E-Trade Babies and the Budweiser Clydesdales are also set to return. Celebrities featured in the big game ads include Lindsay Lohan, Megan Thee Stallion, Charlie Puth, Mary J. Blige, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, Idris Elba, and Guy Fieri. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and CBS Sports. That's 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, February 13th, 2022. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for putting up with me. I appreciate it so much. I'm just trying to keep up with current events, and while I have this broadcast software in front of me, you might as well take the ride along with me. If you care to like, subscribe, share, comment in particular. I like when people comment. That way I have some fodder to talk about next time. If you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. And if you'd like to watch me play games from time to time, usually poorly, I play a lot of Fortnite. Use the hashtag KeysDAN Gaming to find me on Twitch and find me on Facebook Gaming. I need some more Twitch followers, so if you're listening on another platform, follow me on Twitch. You know, I'd like to get up to my 50 followers. That way I can get affiliate status. That would be fun. I also do these from time to time live on Twitch, YouTube, and my Facebook page as well. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. Hey, if you need some DJ services, check out djlittlerock.com. If you want to submit your new music, check out radiowhat.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.